girlies, it's your girl back with another video. So for today's video, we're gonna be doing the ultimate step-by-step tutorial that's gonna get you ready for Valentine's Day, okay? So if you're interested, just stay tuned. If you're new here, my name's Karina. I do a lot of makeup related content. I do a lot of chit-chat get ready with me's. I do vlogs sometimes, but I'm just a makeup girly through and through, so yeah. I wanted to post this. Today was a perfect day to record this because my sister did my lashes yesterday, so we have a fresh full set. And this is also proof for the girlies that yes, you can still do your eyeshadow with eyelash extensions on, period. Because I used to be one of those girlies that I just didn't want to, what's the word, go through the struggle of having to like go around my lashes. But I just really like having my lashes done sometimes, so sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I also want to start off by saying that I am not a makeup artist. So I don't always know what I'm doing. Sometimes I do, and sometimes we finesse, and sometimes it just looks good, so it doesn't matter. But I just want to say that for anybody that is like, ew, like why are you doing that? Or like, this is just how I do it. So yeah. I also want to say that we're going to be putting a lot of makeup on our face today. So if you're a natural girly, this is probably not the video for you. But if you would like to stick around for the eyeshadow portion, that way you can know or have a cute idea or makeup inspo for your Valentine's Day date/activities. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to start off with my Pixie Glow Tonic Toner. I feel like this has been doing so many good things for my skin. So I've been starting my makeup routine with this every single time I do my makeup. Even on a day-to-day basis when I'm not doing like a full face, I'll still start my makeup prep with some of this. So I just like to grab a little cotton pad and just dab a few little things on there. And then just go all around your face. I also like to start off with some vitamin C serum. This is just like the skincare before the makeup. So I'm just showing you guys everything that I do step by step. This next step you can skip if your plans are going to be like at night and in the evening, but I'm still going to go in with my La Roche-Posay sunscreen. This is just part of my everyday routine, so I'm just going to do like I usually would. Some SPFs can give flashbacks, so that's why I say to skip it if your date is at night and you know you're going to be taking pictures. But I'm not doing anything with flash right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and rub this in. I'm filming this during the day and I like to protect my skin. Once we have that rubbed in, I'm gonna go in with my Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer. You are either a believer of primer or you're not. I don't always use it, but this one I think performs pretty well with my skin. I do have like acne prone skin, so I have like texture and like scars. So I feel like this does a good job filling some of my pores in and stuff. And I just like to put this on my, right in these areas and a little bit on my forehead, but not necessarily everywhere on my face. I don't know if you guys can see, but I do have problem areas. Like I have acne prone skin, so naturally I have scars that have come with my skin's journey. So I like to go in first with my L'Oreal Full Wear Concealer. This one is one of my favorite concealers to use to actually conceal. So I like to go in with this before my foundation just to give some extra coverage in some of my areas that I know need it a little bit more. And this way you get to save some foundation because you're not having to build it up as much. And then I'm gonna go in with my beauty sponge. This is a Real Technique sponge that I used literally the other day. Sometimes I do use them without them being freshly cleaned because I like the coverage of a not wet sponge, and I probably should just wash it so that it's like available but not wet for the next time. But something about it being like this is like perfect to me, and I know people might like judge me for that, but I'm just telling y'all what I like to do. Okay, so go ahead and blend out that concealer. And you don't want to diffuse it too much, just blend out the edges so that your foundation can blend smoothly over top without any harsh lines. because you want to keep that coverage there. So for foundation today, we're going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Impeccable Longwear Foundation. I literally just got this and I've only worn it once, but I can already tell that this is going to be a favorite of mine. So we're going to go in with this, and I'm just going to go in with a few pumps at a time and slowly building up that coverage, making sure all the areas of my face are covered. And as you may notice, I skip applying foundation right under my eyes because I just want to avoid piling product on there that I don't need. I don't apply any foundation under my eyes so that it can just be the concealer alone. And that way we're not making it look super cakey under there. So I'm posting this video a little bit earlier than Valentine's Day so y'all can have it to maybe give y'all some inspo. And I wonder how many of us by now have been asked to be Valentine's. Me and my fiance have been together 3 years, and every year I do expect him to ask me. The first year, I think, was it the first year? How did he ask me the first year? I can't remember. Oh yeah, the first year he asked me with it was like a pastry that he got at the gas station, and it said like Valentine on it. But I'm gonna post a picture so y'all can see. It was so cute. That was really cute. And then the next year he did a cute little setup at the house and like asked me with like balloons and stuff, and it was so cute. So I wonder what he's gonna do this year, because we're fiancés this year, so we'll see. In the past, I would like send him little memes because I'm like, when are you gonna ask me to be your Valentine? Like, you know, you have to ask me. But this year I haven't said nothing yet. At this point in time, today is January 30th, so we'll see when he asks me. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows off camera. I'm gonna do it off camera because I don't really do anything fancy to them. I just fill them in. I like to go in with my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. I do have my eyebrows micro shaded, so it definitely gives me a guide to follow as I'm filling them in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill them in. Okay, eyebrows are on. I don't carve mine out. You can if you already do that and you prefer to do that, but I'm just not gonna do that. I used to carve out my eyebrows back in like when I was in like college. 2016 era for sure, but we're not doing that today. I don't always feel like I need to, so I just don't anymore. But now I'm gonna show you how I apply concealer in my eyelid with eyelash extensions. It's a little tricky and it takes a little bit of patience, but if you just go slowly, we can manage to not get any product on our eyelashes, okay? I like to go in with my Milani Conceal and Perfect concealer for this part, and then you want to set up a mirror on your desk or wherever it is that you're getting ready at so that you can look down into it as you're applying this product. So I have my mirror set in front of me, and then I'm going to take my index finger and I'm going to hold my lashes down as I'm applying the concealer onto my eyelid. And before you apply the product, I have 2 brushes ready to use. So one is to blend out my concealer that I apply on my eyelid, and one of them is to apply some eyeshadow to set that concealer down. So I have these ready for whenever I need them, so I'm not like trying to look for them later. Now hold your lashes down, and it's okay if you squish them because you're just gonna have to brush them out after. And you need to apply some product. A little bit, not too much. And I like to use a brush, it's a little bit on the flatter side with a rounded edge to blend the concealer out. And you just want to go slow so you don't get it into your eyelashes. And you want to slowly inch as close to your lash line without getting it into your lashes, okay? You have to be very careful. Alright, I got a little bit on the edge here, but it's gonna be okay. Like, you just have to be more careful than me. Usually when I do this when I'm not recording, I don't know if you can see, it's on the edge here. But usually when I do this when I'm not recording, it's fine. So we're just gonna have to pretend that that's not there. And you just have to be more careful than me, but I promise that you can do it. And then I like to grab a very light eyeshadow that's close to the color of my eyelid and use that to set that concealer. You're gonna wanna grab this down again and just set it. So after that, you're gonna take a spoolie, and if you don't have any, if you get your eyelashes done, you should be keeping some on hand. My sister gives me some after she finishes my lashes, so I always have some that I can use to just brush my eyelashes back out. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same to the other side. Now I'm gonna go in with the eyeshadow palette that I'm using today. So this is like a super easy way to do any smoky look. The colors that I'm gonna be using today are colors that you probably already have in your collection, so it doesn't matter if it's not the same exact palette, the same exact shadow, but I'm just gonna be giving you a guideline of what kinds of colors I like to use. Then y'all can just do what y'all can with what you have. So I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia Spice palette for this first shade, and the first shade is gonna be this taupey. It's almost like a cool tone nude. I don't know if the camera is catching it the best, but we're just gonna grab that and put that in our crease as our transition shade. And I'm sorry in advance if my lashes are getting in the way, but you're just gonna blend that into there. And I also like to do my eyeshadow before applying any under eye concealer, so that way my concealer looks the freshest and like the most perfect that I can get it. Because sometimes I do get fallout from eyeshadow, so just to get it to look as most perfect as I can get it, I will do my under eye concealer last. So now I'm going to go in with a different brush. And my brushes are a little bit dirty because I haven't washed these, but this is gonna be the shape of the brush that I'm using next. And we're gonna go in with my Lunar Beauty palette, and I'm gonna be going in with the shade Aura Points, which is this one. And I'm gonna be dabbing some of that and putting that in my outer V, blending that into my crease a little bit. I'm also gonna grab this brush. I feel like this one has been really good for blending. And notice how I'm like switching some things up as I go, because it's not always gonna be what you thought would work the best that works the best. I promise you guys, you can get a little messy with this. Not too messy, just blend it. And then this last step that I show you guys is really gonna make it all come together, I promise. You just have to trust the process with eyeshadow. I'm gonna go in with just a little bit with Scene Stealer, which is this one. I'm kind of even like freestyling this a little bit, as y'all should also. You really want to blend and create a contrast between that first crease shade and then this shade, because it's going to create a really nice contrast also when we apply the last all over lid shade. You just want to make sure you blend out any harsh edges, especially when you're using darker shadows. And sometimes if you really can't get it to blend out, sometimes I struggle with that too, you want to grab some of that first crease shade, the lighter one, and just blend it into that crease again. Layer it and blend it. Keep layering, keep blending until you get your desired look. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other side off camera and then be right back. So this is what my eyelids look like. Not the most perfect, but this last step is really gonna bring it all together, okay? You're gonna wanna grab a flat shader brush like this, and I'm gonna use this nude colored, light nude colored shade and pack that on my brush, and then also pack that on my eyelid. So you kind of want to just do it in the inner 3/4 in a round way so that it like shapes with your eyelid, if that makes sense. I like to use this brush, which is a little bit rounded at the top, and that really helps with that. And then you're gonna slowly diffuse the edges and don't go too far down. You guys see that? I hope y'all can. I'm gonna brush my eyelashes out because right now they probably look a little crazy, and they probably do catch a little bit of that eyeshadow, but you just have to try your best to like brush that out, and I promise you your lashes will still look good. So that's the eyeshadow look, period. Oof, that's a little stressful, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm gonna go in back with my Milani concealer, and now we're gonna do our under eye concealer. So I just like to apply a little bit at a time. Usually that's the best way to apply it. And go back in with my sponge and blend that out. And then as we get to like the edge, I like to create like, I like to drag this out like in a line so that it kind of cleans up that eyeshadow over there. And I'm just gonna add 3 more dots on each side for a little bit more coverage, and a little bit on my forehead, chin, and a little bit here, a little bit here. This step just adds a little bit more of brightness to my under eye. I could go in with a brighter concealer, but I've really been enjoying this so far. And then I do this to my forehead just to brighten it up a little bit, just because that foundation shade is a good match, but this makes it just blend a little bit better. So now I'm gonna go in with my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. This is an oldie but a goodie at this point. I feel like it's really popular, and it's popular for a reason. It's really finely milled. I really do like this formula. I'm gonna be going in with a little puff. Grab some of that product, and then you're gonna wanna puff it on your hand to get some of that excess off, and then apply that to your under eye. Then do the same for the other side. A little bit on my chin. I like to drag it out, and then a little bit on my forehead. Okay, this next step is optional. If you have this powder, I would recommend using it at this step. So I like to use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder, and we're just gonna dab that a little bit all over our face. So just gonna grab this and just go on this side really, and over here, a little bit on my forehead, right before we apply any of our bronzer and blush. So now for bronzer, I'm gonna go in with my True Luscious Lucky Glow palette. You can find this on Amazon. I got mine in a BoxyCharm one time. I like to use this kind of shape brush for my bronzer. It's a little bit angled, but it's a flat top. And then I'm gonna go in with this shade right here and go all around the perimeter of my face. You wanna keep the bronzer on the higher side of your cheek. Like, you don't wanna go too low. I like to grab a little bit and go along the sides of my nose to contour it a little bit, but just ever so lightly, it's not too much. So now that bronzer's done, for blush, I'm gonna go in with this Tarte blush. This is the Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Lavish, and I'm just gonna put that on my cheeks. I like to concentrate it on the apples of my cheeks, and then bring it up towards my temples. And I like to go on my nose too. They started doing the lawn outside, so I'm so sorry if you can hear that. All right, so blush is done. Now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of highlights. Recently, I've been going in with the MAC Whisper of Guilt. This is an oldie but a goodie. If you were on YouTube like years ago, then you know about Whisper of Guilt. So we're just gonna do a little bit and apply that on the tops of my cheekbones. And so now we're gonna do our lip combo that I've really been loving. Okay, if you have me on Instagram, you've already seen this lip combo. I've just really fell in love with it. I'm gonna be using the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Control. And we're gonna outline our lips. So I know that looks really scary, but I learned a trick on TikTok that if you just grab the back end of your lip pencil, just like run over your lip liner with it to diffuse those edges. And I also like to do this moment here on the outside to kind of like create an ombre moment. And I like to go in like from the lip line up, or like into the center of the lip. And then from the top down. So that's the lip line. And now I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Velvet in the shade Peachy Nude. It's a really nice neutral nude color. I'm gonna apply some of that into the center of my bottom lip and a little bit onto my top lip. And I like to blend these out with my fingers. So I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap. Like literally just tap it. It doesn't have to be neat. I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more and tap that again. Alright y'all, and that's gonna be the completed look. Hopefully that wasn't too hard. I just really love this look. I think it's very glam but very soft at the same time. I am obsessed with it. You can top it off with some setting spray if you want to, but with this foundation, I don't really think that you need to. Even as an oily girl, I didn't have to. I would just carry some setting powder to re-pat it if you need to, but you'd be fine. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Please give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah guys, I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.